What's going on, woke nation, my woke people? Welcome to another video. As you can see today, guys, I got the suit out. Let's talk entrepreneur, let's talk multi-millionaire, let's talk business, let's talk money. Earlier this week, I had a chance to speak to actually sit down with a guy who's actually very successful. He runs his own construction company all over America. He's a multi-millionaire. Okay, so he's an example. He's the guy that has been there, right? He's been there and he's done that. Okay, so I sat down with him and I asked him a question. I said, what is the secret to your success? What did you do that most people fail to do to get to your position? What did you do? And the first thing he said to me was so simple. I mean, this guy breaks things down where, like, to the point that I've never seen before. Like, he does it so simple, and he just said to me, look, the first thing I did really well was I work on a gradient. Okay, so basically he broke things down. He broke things down because he said to me, look, a lot of people are like, I want to make my first million. I got a dream to make my first million, and I'm going to work so hard to make my first million, right? And then he said, okay, so you have this goal, you want to make your first million, but how are you going to get there? He said it was simple for him because what he done was he worked on a gradient. So instead of saying, I want to make my first million, he said, okay, I want to make my first billion, right, by the age of 50. Now, how is he going to do that? He said, all right, in his business, he's basically going to set a target. He set a target of a growth of 40% a year for 28 years, right? Which will basically make him a billion by the time he was 50, right? And he says that is the ultimate secret. Is so underrated because it gives you confidence as well. Let's say you got a task of eating a big cake. You want to eat a big cake, right? And you got to do it within a week. Most people just dive in straight away and eat as much as possible, and by the time you know it, they're full and they're sick and they're tired of the cake. They don't even want to see the cake no more. But he said, the example he gave is like, just take a piece. Let's say every day you're going to eat an amount, and you don't go past that amount, you don't go less than that amount. You're going to eat that exact amount, and you're actually disciplined enough to eat that amount of cake. By the time you reach the 7th day, you reach your goal. And that gives you confidence as well, because it's not that you're looking at the big goal, be like, wow, how am I going to do this, right? You're actually looking at, okay, this is what I'm going to do today. Let's do it. Let's get it done. So gradient scale. I thought that was really interesting and a really good point. So the second point he basically made was, he said, look, Modu, this is probably one of the most important points, or the most important point. He said, look, you are your environment. You are your environment, so you need to watch your environment. He said when he turned 21 and he made a decision, that's the key word, decision, about the life he wanted to live. He said he removed anything that would take him away from that decision, right? So he said watch your environment, because a lot of the times people, they know they can do things, they know they can achieve their dreams, they can reach their goals, they can buy the house, they can help people, right? But once they see someone that's actually doing it, it reminds them of the fact that they're powerful enough to do the same thing. But they sort of get stuck in a confusion, because most people rather be told what to do than to actually go out and execute that thing, right? So he said watch your environment, because not everyone has the best interest for you. Iron sharpens iron. So he took himself out of that environment. He said, look, I took myself out of that environment. But he said, don't get me wrong, the life I lived was very boring, because the things I was doing was fun. Like, it was going out clubbing, you know, drinking, girls, you know, drugs. He said it was very fun for a 21-year-old. So he had to live a boring life, but he said he had the discipline and he knew what he wanted out of life. So there was no way he was going to go back to that life. So he said basically he paid the price. He paid the price to live the life he's able to live today. Now he's like traveling all around the world, and his business is systemized enough. So he's basically, he can go anywhere in the world and his business still working, and he's still getting his money, and he's still helping people. He's still giving his knowledge to people. And then finally, you know, when we sat down, you know, I looked at him and I looked at the clothes he was wearing, like his appearance, right? And I said to him, man, you make like so much money. How you like dress so humble, just like a shirt, you know, trousers and like a simple watch. He said, listen, he said, look, if you want to get far in life, you need to stop trying to make people wrong. And I said to him, what do you mean by that? Stop trying to make people wrong. He said, look, if you have the money to buy a Ferrari and you really want a Ferrari because you really want it, he said, there is no problem. Buy a Ferrari, drive it, enjoy it. But he said most people, they want their appearance to do the talking, so they're gonna go wear some chains, they're gonna go wear some jewelry, they're gonna buy cars that they don't even need. Not because they want it, because they want to make other people wrong. So they want to make other people feel like I'm better than you. So they want to make people feel inadequate. Like, I'm better than you. Look at what I have. This is what I have. You know, I must be doing something right. You're doing something wrong. Ha 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 ha. He said, stop trying to make people wrong. Because we've been programmed to always make each other wrong. School. Look at, like, when we do a test, we're graded, right? Oh, he's smarter. He's smarter. And when you're at that stage, when you're young, it's like basically, oh yeah, he's smarter than you. It's not that he's academically smarter than you. It's like he's smarter than you, he's better than you because he got an A and you got a U. So we're always being programmed to make people wrong. He said he doesn't need to prove to anyone that, like, to make them feel wrong or anything. He said he knows what he knows. So he can be like just humble. Like, he doesn't need to prove to anyone that he's wrong. And he said that's kind of dangerous, because when you try and make people like always feel wrong, they will never admit that they're wrong and it can turn against you. So stop trying to make people wrong and be humble. He doesn't need to impress anyone, right? So my guys, woke nation, woke people, stay woke. Thank you for watching another video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys like the video, like, comment, subscribe. More content on the way. And you also, if you have any suggestions of videos I should make, maybe situations that you're dealing with right now in your life, let me know, right? And stay woke.